Here's the question. Do you put the stuffing inside the turkey before you cook it or after? That's just one of the many Thanksgiving food safety questions that we're answering for you today. I'm joined by registered dietitian Janet Mayer from the Guilford County Health Department. She's here to answer your questions, all things turkey and cooking safety. You can text your questions to 336-379-5775. That number will also be at the bottom of your screen. Remember, do not call. This is text only. All right, so since we started off with that question, Janet, let's answer it. Should you cook the stuffing inside the turkey or should you cook it separate?
If you want to be thinking about safety, and I think we all do this Thanksgiving holiday, you're going to want to have the stuffing cooked outside of the turkey. In a separate pan is probably better. What that allows is for any microorganisms or any kind of germs that might not get killed because of the temperature, if you cook it inside the turkey, to definitely be on the outside. And it also, if some people like crispiness, it allows that stuffing to also be crispy around the edges.
Okay, so right now we have up turkey temperatures because it's not when you get the turkey brown, it is actually when it reaches a certain temperature. So let's put that back up again and go ahead over what we need to do. You need a meat thermometer to do this.
That is correct, and you want the internal temperature, I'm going to check and make sure here, to actually be 165 degrees on a turkey. And that is also higher than the food danger zone, which we'll talk about in a little while. So you want that bird with your meat thermometer to read 165 at any part on the turkey where you stick that thermometer into.
Right, and then they have some upgraded temperatures as well for the breast or for the thigh to make sure that you have those specific temperatures there.
Right.
One of the questions that people have all the time is, how do I thaw my turkey? And so there's been like some crazy things going on. I know that the Butterball hotline, they got a, hey, can I put my turkey in the hot tub question? Which, no, you can't. Can I put my turkey in the dishwasher? No, you can't. So if your turkey is still frozen right now, it means that your turkey is not ready for the oven or the fryer tomorrow. So the next method is the cold water method. So let's talk about how that works.
There is a water bath that you can put the turkey in, and the guideline is to allow for 30 minutes per pound for the thawing of that turkey before you decide that you're going to start to prep it, to put it in the oven, and then to cook it.
Okay, and
so
again, when you put that 30 minutes
for the water bath.
Gotcha. And so people will be like, okay, so I can just stick it in my sink and I can just turn the water on and just leave it there for a long time. And that actually is not the case. You kind of have to babysit this turkey some.
Right, that is correct. I would imagine that for most folks, they should have been preparing their turkey before this evening. But if you want to babysit it tonight into tomorrow, that's certainly up to you.
Okay, so when we fill the sink up and we say that you need to have it in a cold bath, is it halfway up the turkey or is it covering the turkey?
You want to cover the turkey so that all parts of it are thawed thoroughly before you decide that you're going to cook it.
Okay, and there's a certain point too that at some point you should like turn it over or rotate it when you do the next 30-minute bath?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and why do you have to do that?
Well, it's just so that, again, all parts of it are thawed, and if you have one part that may be sticking out or the water is not the same temperature as the rest of the bath, you really just want to make sure that the entire, the legs, the breasts, the thighs are all thawed out thoroughly. So that's why you want to kind of rotate it in there.
So this person says, do I need to clean my turkey a certain way to make sure it's safe?
No, you really don't have to clean it with any kind of chemicals or anything like that. It's not a bad idea to scrub it, and you just have to use a brush and leave it in the sink and as you're cleaning it, let that water run down the drain.
All right, now after you're cleaning your turkey that way, I mean, you have, fowl with salmonella all over the place and splashing all over the place. What should you do immediately after you clean your turkey?
You're going to want to disinfect any surfaces where uncooked turkey juices are, or any of the water that may have splashed around the counter. So you're going to want to disinfect.
All right. So, and this is one of those things where if you have a double sink, right, and you've got the turkey in one side, whatever's in that other side, you need to take all of that out when you're doing it, because the water's going to splash everywhere.
Correct. That is right. And the counters, it may get on the counters next to the sink. You just want to try to clean everything so that none of that salmonella germs will survive and get into something else that you might wash in the sink, like the carrots or whatever it would be. That's called cross-contamination. We want to try to eliminate that as much as possible.
Okay, we're continuing to take your questions. We've got a couple in the hopper ready to go about leftovers. What can I do to make them last longer? How much do they really last? What should I know if I ate leftovers that weren't really good for me? What are some of the symptoms? We're going to be talking about that when we come back after this very quick break.